hate module blocks, and honestly, I could end the video on that note. The experience of being pointlessly time-gated on a material you need very much of makes me want to give myself testicular torsion. Seeing as this material is as rare as a Genshin fan that doesn't like minors, it also means you have to choose very carefully what modules you're going to upgrade. As much as you like to do it, I wouldn't recommend thinking with your penis when it comes to this. So, it is best to avoid the bad modules, or rather, you should only upgrade the good or necessary ones, because there isn't really bad modules at all. They are all outright buffs, no matter how small or insignificant, right? No, there is one module that actively debuffs the operator you use it on. Stick around to find out. Or read the thumbnail. So in this video, rather than discussing bad modules, we're going to discuss some that aren't worth the materials. Not everyone can be Gummy and have an amazingly good module after all. When you just give a straight up buff, it's hard to make it bad, go figure. So, I pinned down 3 general ways in which a module can be not worth the investment. 1. The module is insignificant, a non-factor, or just doesn't do enough to justify the cost. 2. The module doesn't synergize with the overall design of the operator. And 3. The module is straight up harmful. This is only true for one module as far as I'm aware. But let's go in order. The Flagbearer modules all fall under the first criteria. While they are not insignificant or non-factors, they still do way too little. Myrtle may have gotten a skin that makes her become a summoner operator by summoning erections in my pants, but her module leaves much to be desired. Sure, it basically removes their one singular weakness, but it wasn't a relevant weakness in the first place. In 99% of situations, you can place Flagbearers in places where they won't get enemies on their ass in the first place. If you didn't know, if the tile has a little fence around it like this, it means enemies aren't going there. So, if you put a Flagbearer there, they're gonna be safe. I'm not saying the modules are bad, far from it, they are just nice to have. And a module can't just be nice to have when you have to sell your mother for it. Let's talk about Grani. When you clicked on this video, you 100% expected her goofy ass to be here. She falls under the second criteria. Her module is just confusing and doesn't synergize with her kit. First of all, she's a defensive DP on kill vanguard. That is already bad enough. But then the module is also confused and scared, like a conservative seeing a fanboy for the first time. First, it leans into the DP on kill part of her kit, and then it leans into the defensive part of her kit. It's messy and confusing, and what the f is going on? It's like watching League of Legends gameplay. Then we have Shirayuki. If you're using her, it's for the arts damage on skill 2 and literally nothing else. Unless you're one of the 2 Shirayuki fans out there. So what does her module do? Ignores 100 defense. Wow, thank you! Now my arts damage dealer can Ignore defense! But before we go into the third criteria, let's hear what DragonGJY has to say. Well, let's read it. He didn't want to go in VC. If you don't know, DragonGJY is a CN YouTuber keeping all you goobers up to date with CN news, in particular modules, which means he's a reliable source. If you see him in the street trying to convince you to go in a white van, follow him. What do you think makes a good module? One has a very clear direction that the design is trying to go, whether that be damage, survival, skill recycle, support. Two, that direction helps out with the specialty of that operator, not trying to lead them into a direction that they don't belong. 3, has decent stats to back it up. 4, it develops a legit playstyle that was not possible before. What do you think is the best module overall, or one of the better ones? 1. Rosa's module. 2. Kyobi's X module. 3. Mostima's module. What do you think is the worst module overall, or one of the worst ones? 1. Fartooth's Y module. 2. Arknights.exe module. 3. Angelina's modules. There are a lot that I am not satisfied with, so I picked the few that I am especially not happy with. Well, let's check them out and find out why. Fartooth's Module Y has pretty pathetic stats, only giving 120 attack and HP, but also a whole 7 attack speed. Never in a million years will you notice that attack speed difference. The FBI could not waterboard me to say that 7 attack speed is impactful. Arknights Module X instead is just odd. The activation requirement looks like it was decided by an Hypergryph developer overdosing on Xanax and rolling dice. And again, the 8 attack speed is unnoticeable. You will never see the difference. It's like 60 FPS and 120 FPS. No bro, you are gaslighting yourself, there is no difference. The SP on deployment is nice, but refer to what I said about the Flagbearers. And finally, both of Angelina's modules. The first is insignificant, ever so slightly increasing her slow and global heal. This falls under the doesn't justify the cost criteria. The second is confusing. She gains 20% increased SP recovery when there are enemies in range. Which is good, don't get me wrong, but another odd activation requirement. And Angelina already has very short SP cooldowns, so it's kinda non-consequential. If you could change anything about the current way that the module system works, what would you change? This could be the materials, what they do, who gets them, etc. 1. Make the level 1 module block material easier to get. Ideally, get them from SSS monthly. 2. Better balancing for the disparity between different modules. Either make them all impactful enough, or make them all nothing to measure. 3. Release them faster. You know, he makes some good points, especially about the material. Why, oh god, why are the fucking module blocks so heavily time-gated? Does Rhodes Island need 100 Usain children to manufacture these in a sweatshop? And now comes the time you've all been waiting for. The module that is outright harmful for the operator. Eunectes Module 2. Unlike what some unicellular amoebas in the comment section might tell you, Eunectes' biggest problem is that she deals way too much damage while her skills aren't up. This makes it so she just never charges any SP, and when the strong enemies come around, her skills aren't ready. This is luckily majorly fixed by Module 1, which is an incredibly good module. You can watch this video after this one for a more detailed breakdown. So, now that we know Eunectes' main issue is having way too much attack, her Module 2 gives her a lot more attack. What the f happened here? You are taking her major weakness and making it worse. It's like if even Hot's module made it so he can attack everyone except elite enemies. This must be some sort of inside joke from Hypergryph, getting high as f on gummy breast milk, rolling dice, and seeing who can come up with the worst module for Eunectes. Obviously, I get the intention. This module was built around skill 1, and for that, yes, it does make skill 1 much better. But who the f on God's green earth is using Eunectes' skill 1? She just becomes a really inefficient and way too expensive Dreadnought guard. So all it does in actuality is make Eunectes worse. Now she sucks even more at making SP. Your dumbass is gonna be able to get a girlfriend before you're able to charge any Eunectes skill while using Module 2. And that's all I had to say. Max out your gummy. Bye. Hey there, thank you for watching the video. I know it must have been really hard with the voice I have. And a special thank you to the channel members shown on screen right now. In particular, thank you to Noobpo, Capybara, Lord Takeo, IQ is fake, Techie, Come to Brazil, Behaigna, Chromechan but JJF, and Ice Cube. It's in part thanks to you extremely attractive people if the videos keep coming out. Cheers. Can't find you with access to the back of my eyelids.